All right, first off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Yahweh's name is Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai's name is his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Now today, let's get right to it. I want you to watch this video, watch it all the way through, because I'm about to give you what God gave me, talents. Okay? You want some talents? Let's get it. When David was fighting Goliath, I can't even really call it fighting. When David killed Goliath, David picked up 5 smooth stones. Now, smooth stones represents covered or washed in water. They were smooth, they were washed in water. Now, the 5 smooth stones represented the Torah, the book of love, the heart of God. A heart has 5 elements: fire, water, earth, air, flesh holds it all together. Love, the heart of God. He fought Goliath with the heart of God, and he beat him with Genesis. 1 stone. Genesis was beautiful. Now, let's go from there. When you're in love with a woman, she's got to have certain qualities that keep you and attract you to her. And this is the heart of God. God loved Israel. So here's what he did. He thought they were beautiful. Fire, Genesis, beautiful. That's 1 talent in the heart of God. That's 1 talent I just gave you. If you're in love with a woman, you see her, she's beautiful to you. Talent number 2, Exodus, water, heard. He heard their prayer. He took them through the water. When a whale goes swimming, he swims about 200 feet down, he makes a whale call. It could travel all over the oceans of the world. It is heard everywhere. Water is heard. In a relationship with a woman, you find out what she wants. You listen to her. You're on a date, you're listening to her. You listen to her wants, her needs, what she's done, what she's been through, so you can get in bed with her, so you can get in the pants, and so she could wrap her legs around you. She's listening to you also. So it's heard. Exodus is heard. The heart of God has to be heard. Next, you have numbers. Numbers is earth. When you're going out with a girl, you get her numbers, you get her digits, you get her measurements, 36, 24, 36. You get close, you get in there, you score, you get to third base. Third, 3. Earth is 3. Third. You get to third base. You see what you're working with. In Deuteronomy, he counted them. He saw what he was working with. He got an intimate feel for Israel. He got an intimate feel, so he got to third base, okay? He got to third base. So let's go over that again. We got beautiful, Genesis, fire. We got Exodus, water, heard. We have numbers, earth, chaste. The heart has to be chaste. It's chaste. It's chaste. He went after him. Okay, that's enough on that one. Okay, number next we have Leviticus. Leviticus is thought of. Gifts. They sent up gifts to the Heavenly Father. Flowers, fresh, nice smelling flowers. Meats, fragrances. That's how you give a girl chocolates. You were wonderful last night. That Numbers was awesome. Numbers was awesome. You were wonderful. You get her, send her gifts. So that is thought of. She has to be thought of. If you love someone, they have to. Now, next, you have Deuteronomy. The laws, statutes, and commandments were given in Deuteronomy. This is love, the word says. This is love, my laws, statutes, and commandments. What is love? This is love, my laws, statutes, and commandments. Deuteronomy, the flesh, what holds the heart together. Obedience. When you marry a woman, you go down the aisle with her, you make your wedding vows, it's obedience. Those are vows. Obedience. That is the heart of God. That's 5 talents, the understanding of the Torah, God's heart. As you remember, they rejected his heart. And what happened? They all died except for 2 of them, Joshua and Caleb. Okay, those are the only ones that didn't reject his heart. Now, if you're in a relationship with a woman, you know this well. They put this same engine, this heart, in movies. They put it in comic books. Let's go, for example, the Fantastic Four. Let's start real easy. You grew up with another kid. Johnny Storm, fire, beautiful. The Invisible Girl, heard. She liked to be heard. She turned invisible. Clear, water, had to be heard. The Thing, earth. The Thing, earth. Seeks herself. He wanted to be chased. He thought he was ugly. He wanted to be chased. Mr. Fantastic, thought of, air, warrior mind, mentality. Always stretching, always reaching, sending up, going out there, going the extra mile, stretch. And what held them all together? They were family. Love, the heart of God. An engine, it works every time. Let's go again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sounds weird, but okay. And there's a color that goes with each one of these. Let's start off with Michelangelo. Mikey. Mikey was beautiful. Mikey was beautiful. He was Genesis. He was fire. His color was yellow. He was always looking for the perfect set, the perfect wave. Totally awesome. You know? That's... And his... he wielded nunchucks. Chuck means free man. The name Chuck means free man. So he's a free spirit. He was beautiful. Next you have, let's go to water. Water is heard. Raphael, red. Raphael, red, blood. He likes to be heard. No one ever listens to him. He always was mad. He was complaining because he was never heard. Sai is an offensive weapon. He had to put up his defense because he never was getting heard. Okay? So that's Raphael. Water, heard. Next color is purple. Donatello. Donatello was all about the numbers, the digits. Come on, you get it? And he had the big bow staff. Come on, put it together. Donatello had a passion for the numbers, for the digits, for the calculating. Okay? So he was numbers. Numbers, self-explanatory. He was earth. And then you have Leonardo. The warrior mentality. Thought of, air. And what held them together? Splinter, their father. Remember, gave them the Deuteronomy, gave them the commandments, the Heavenly Father. Father, that held the family together. That was love. That was love. Okay, let's go again. Go to one movie that I saw one time. Ready Player One. I know if younger kids, you probably saw it. But it has the same engine. You took those 5 people. You took the 5 people. And then you take the leader guy. He was love. And then you take his friend, the guy, girl, earth. Then you take his friend, the guy in the red, the Chinese guy. His was warrior mentality. His was the warrior mentality. So that means he was air. He was air. Then you take his friend, his kid brother. He was yellow. His was fire. Beautiful. And then you take the girl, the leading actor's main squeeze. She was red. Her thing, she wanted to be heard. Hers was heard. So you had the 5. Now they put these talents, this engine, in movies. If you go to the movies About Last Night, romance novels, they get you in like James Bond. They get you in with something beautiful, awesome. They catch your attention. And then you hear the plot, what's going on in James Bond. You hear, okay, what's going on here? We got to figure out what's going on. You listen. And then you got the grounded scene. You get to the earth. You get something basic, maybe a sex scene or something blunt. Hits you like a blunt instrument. Most likely it's going to be a sex scene. And then you have the plan, thought of. They put the plan together to get success, to beat the enemy. They put the plan, and then after that, you have the finale. The good guys win. You get the love. They kiss. Everything's great. Okay? Now, they put this same engine in all action movies, love stories. You can watch the movie About Last Night. Same engine all over again. Everything. It's an engine. It's talents. Now, the devil has a heart as well. Now, if you're in a relationship and it's a bad relationship, you know it because you're in it. Okay, instead of being beautiful, paying attention to them, hearing them, having sex with them, giving them gifts, loving them, being obedient, the devil's heart is something different. Now I'm about to give you 5 more talents. The devil's heart is ugly. You're in a relationship, you're with somebody, you see them, they're ugly. You're not interested in them. They're ugly. Okay, that's fire, because that burns. Then you have water. Next, if water is hearing them, listening to them, seeing what they want and need, it's ignoring them in the devil's heart. It's ignoring them. You're ignoring them. You're not paying attention to them at all. You don't care what they say. You're not listening. You're playing video games. You're out with your girlfriends. You're ignoring them. The next is earth. Numbers. If numbers is getting the digits and getting the third base, the sex stops in the devil's heart. No sex. You're disgusted with them. Next is air. Thought of. The gifts stop. You don't care what they do. You could care less. You don't think of them at all. You don't require or inquire about their feelings at all. After that, it's hate. Disobedience. Rebellion. You're fighting. You can't stand to look at each other. You hate each other. That is the devil's heart. So now I've given you 10 talents. Understanding of God's heart and the devil's heart. The heart for success, the heart for failure. Now you're probably watching this. Some of you are in bad relationships. Some of you have the devil's heart. Some of you have God's heart. Probably very few of you at this point in time, because I've heard that the divorce rate's up to above 70%. So anyway, I hope you take these talents, and share them. I started out with one. And it was beautiful. And I got all these others. And now I have 10 talents. So, and I'll get more in the kingdom, Lord willing. And I'm rejoicing not in myself. I'm rejoicing that my name is written in the Lamb's book of life. That's what I'll boast in about these talents. That's what I'm happy about. And I hope you take these. I hope you do a video on them. Maybe you look and you'll search and you'll find the connections in movies or books or comic books, or help somebody out in a relationship. Give them pointers, give them tips on what to do, because it's an engine for success or an engine for failure. They also put the same engine in horror movies too. So it's a little bit, you'll understand it if you try and figure that out. Maybe you can get 15 talents out of it. But anyway, I hope you were blessed by this. I hope you stayed through the whole video. I hope you took these talents and you decided to do something with them, because I would hate for you to hear this and on your day of judgment, you be called a lazy, a wicked and slothful servant and not do anything with the talents that I just gave you. I just gave you 10 talents. Many people would freak out over one. I gave you 10 and an understanding of the Torah, God's heart. What are you going to do with it? Be blessed.